Hey guys, I see you're back for more. Remember, we talked about being able to physically work our way through how traditional notation is set up. And we're talking about how we can make our way through musical time and how we're going to know about the importance of time signatures. And we looked at this page that has so many scribbles on it. Hopefully, you remember things like bar lines or measures or bars, what that double bar is, and where we're going to find that time signature. Let's talk a bit about what the actual time signature is. Now, when we look at a time signature, there are two numbers. One number on top of another number. Now, this isn't a fraction in the same way that it may look. It is an if-then statement. It tells us many things about how the music's going to work. That top number tells us about the meter. It tells us about the beat. The beat is that steady underlying pulse, and the meter is the grouping of the beat. Remember, that steady underlying pulse is great, fine, and wonderful, but in every song we kind of know, there's kind of a feeling where some of those beats are a little more important than each other. And we have a pattern of important beats, like in that song, Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Every once in a while, we feel like one of those beats is a little more emphasized than the others. That's because that's the grouping of the beat. It's grouped in beats in groups of four. Okay, that top number describes how many beats are going to be in each measure. There's one grouping of the beat. There's the meter in each measure of music. There's going to be 4 beats in each measure in 4/4 time. That meter, the beat, is really important because that's the steady underlying pulse. That sets up the framework that the rhythm can change over the top of. That means that the top number of the time signature could be any number. If you watch a conductor, you can see that they show us a beat pattern based on the meter. So we could have 4/4 time, we could have 2/4 time, 3/4 time, 4/4 time, 5/4 time, 6/4 time, 7/4 time, 8/4 time's a little weird, but I've seen it. And so on and so forth. It could be in literally any number. And so that's what we're connecting. Now, the second number, the bottom number, is a little different. The top number tells us about the beat. The bottom number tells us about the rhythm. Remember, the rhythm is the pattern of change. And it implies that there are going to be times when we hear sounds that might be something that's not equal to the beat. It could be longer than the beat or shorter than the beat. So that bottom number of the time signature is an abbreviation that lets us know the kind of note that is going to be equal to 1 beat. Remember the kind of notes we have: whole notes, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, and so on and so forth. Once you know which kind of note is equal to 1 count, then you can give a numerical value to all of the other notes and rests that you're going to see on the page. Remember, notes and rests are relationally valued. They're valued in relation to each other. That means that the bottom number can only really be certain kinds of numbers. It can be something that we would associate with a note. Now, if you go back to the idea of notes having fractional names, 1/1 could be a whole. Now, we're not usually going to see a 1 as the bottom number. Just because it's mathematically possible doesn't mean that it's probable. But we could have a bottom number on a time signature of 2 for the half note, 4 for the quarter note, 8 for the eighth note, 16 for the 16th note. For some reason, that can be very tricky for kids. And they're always remembering the top number tells us how many beats are in each measure. And they think, wow, that's so important. It's not. The most important number is the bottom number, because that tells you how you're going to be able to count the rhythm, how you're going to realize that difference in duration throughout the rhythm of the piece over the top of that steady beat. Now,